Hello and welcome to Talking Good Game. It's just finished Aston Villa 1, West Ham United 3 in the latest pre-season friendly for Manuel Pellegrini's side ahead of next season. Now, before we get started, if you want to keep up to date with the rest of our pre-season, including matches, transfers, all the news and gossip surrounding West Ham, the best place to do it is on the One Football app. The link is in the description below. It's free to download. You can get it on Android and iOS. Won't cost you a penny. Download it. Get all the notifications to your phone as well. Bish bash bosh. All you need for the West Ham fan. Mike, I've asked this to Gonzo before, but you're on for the first time after a friendly. What do you look for in friendlies?
What do what, sorry?
What do you look for in friendlies? Because obviously the results are sort of not significant. So what is it you're keeping an eye out for?
Fitness is number one, and I want to see shape. I want to see some semblance of shape, especially defensively and in midfield, and some sort of passing unity, which I thought we got today, largely.
It took 10 minutes for West Ham to get off the mark. Gonzo, to call a solo would be more than fair. He went through about 4 Aston Villa players. Mikel Antonio got the ball, bang, 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 into just inside the box and tucked away in the far corner. Is that the Antonio we want to see?
It's typical Antonio. There was a lot of there was as much battering ram as there was skill, if you know what I mean. The first challenge, should we say, he sort of rode past. I think he got a lucky bounce, carried the ball with him with his strength. The next guy he did just go past, again, held him off with his strength and finished low into the far corner. That is exactly Antonio. And I definitely think at that point, maybe Pellegrini wasn't unsure about his touch and his technique. But that was it's easy to concentrate what players can't do. But that's what Antonio can do. And as I've always said, strength and endeavour can be dirty words in football. And particularly if we're going to play with a lot of technique, a guy like that is going to be... It's going to be a useful asset. Good goal.
He scored from just 10 yards out, Mike, but 5 minutes later he misplaced a pass to someone 10 yards away. And that's the two sides of Antonio.
It is, but that goal did show you why we can't set him. I mean, yeah, he did. Gonzo absolutely right. He bulldozed his way through. But what a great finish. His ability to just hit that bottom corner is just superb. And like he covers every position, doesn't he? Left, right, and there's a strike position. We really need to keep him, I think. But yeah, I agree. His passing technique from 10 yards can be poor. But don't forget, it's his first pre-season game as well. Do you know what I mean? So he technique-wise looked quite ropey. I'll tell you one other thing, though, about while we're on the Antonio subject. He looked fit. And by that, the whole of last season, I thought, is he fat? Do you know what I mean? I know he's probably bulk and muscle, but he looks live. He looks like he did in the first season we had him last season. I thought today, but you know, yeah, maybe it's a flattering shirt. I don't know.
It might only be a fairly, but we'd be forgiven for getting a little bit excited with our second goal. On the 27th minute, Masuaku and Felipe Anderson linked up down the left-hand side before the left-back cut it back to Arnautovic, who got his 4th goal in 3 friendlies. Gonzo, it's a friendly, but it's bloody exciting football.
Well, we got a glimpse then, didn't we? We got a real glimpse. And I think the longer it went on, it was a slow start from Anderson. Actually, the ball didn't seem to go over his half of the pitch that much early on. I think, come on, let's have a look. Let's have a look at you. Let's see what you can do. And as time went on, Masuaku seemed to gain confidence from the fact that he would get the ball back off of Anderson. So he's confidence in running past him and getting to the byline. That just only increased. I think that is going. You say it's only a friendly. That is really going to be a feature of the way we play. Expect to see our fullbacks high up the pitch. If you play fantasy football, probably get our fullbacks in there. We'll concede a lot, but they'll probably get a few assists. And Arnie has just finished it really, really well, following great work from Masuaku. And Arnie is in great form in pre-season.
One reason Gonzo probably didn't see Felipe Anderson was a cameraman of Aston Villa. When you weren't seeing any play down the near touchline where Anderson was in the first half, it just was not happening. You were not getting to see glimpses as what you got to see. Mike, that pass from Anderson to release Masuaku, though, last season we saw that we had the attacking left back in Masuaku, but unless you've got the person to unlock the defence and release him, it's all a little bit pointless. So we now finally... Well, it's only 45 minutes. It is only a friendly, but it's encouraging. What that pass from Anderson.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, he did another one. Do you remember when Antonio got elbowed in the face? Yeah, that was a peachy through ball as well from Anderson. He did it a few times, actually. And but as Gonzo's absolutely right, Masuaku believes in him. He believes it's worth running past if you think you're going to get the return pass. It was a lovely through ball. I'm glad you guys picked up on it, actually, because I was like, wow. And you're right, it was a real glimpse of like, oh, this is what we intend to do. And a few times Zabaleta around the other side made those same runs, but of course he didn't get the ball because it's Antonio giving it to him, wasn't it? So he couldn't quite make the pass. But Anderson can make that pass. So yeah, very exciting indeed.
We're going to skip forward to the 84th minute, and Robert Snodgrass really started to take the piss out of Aston Villa as he made it 3-0, getting onto an Arnautovic through ball. And then Villa scored a minute later with Green thumping it past Adrian. It finished 3-1, but Gonzo, we had a really good stream tonight thanks to Aston Villa. Not been great the last couple of games, but tonight you can see what Pellegrini's starting to do here. You can see the players are really starting to respond to the way he wants to play football.
Yeah, this is great stuff. There was one point I thought we're going to see a lot of possession this season. It's going to be chalk and cheese. The one thing that I really did notice as well, though, is not just that we were trying to pass it, but the pace at which we were passing it. That has changed. That's really changed. We're not hanging on to the ball for long. And the passes are fast, and the players are then moving. Now, these are early days. You've got to remember the first part of any preseason is going to be fitness. They've done their running, so probably only now they're working on the ball skills and ball retention. And I like. It's not just passing; it's passing with pace. And that's fantastic. If you're passing with pace, then you can allow runners to run, as we discussed earlier, and run with pace and latch onto it. And there were just some really nice little triangles. I love seeing Wilshere almost bringing the best out of Noble and so on and so forth. Some really positive aspects, actually.
We'll come on to individual players in a second, but Mike, you said at the start you like to see shape. We're seeing a few different shapes from Pellegrini pre-season. The very first game, it looked like he was playing a variation of 4-2-2-2-2. He's played 4-2-3-1. Tonight, it looks like he's maybe playing a 4-3-3 formation, 3 sort of centre midfielders with 2 wingers. What did you make of the style of play, the shape, etc.?
Yeah, I thought it was a 4-3-3 as well, actually. I really liked it, especially defensively. I thought when we didn't have the ball, we just suddenly started to look really solid. And given the fact we shipped goals against Wickham and Preston, we never really looked in danger, especially in that first half, even though Villa, remember the first 10 minutes I had the ball. Thought we looked really, the shape was really good with Rice just making like a triangle with Balboa, however you say it. And,
not like that, Mike. You don't say it like that.
Balboa.
Rocky Balboa, that's right. Yeah, carry on.
Balboa. And Bono, and he would, when we didn't have the ball, Rice would just go and sit just in front of them. When we did, he'd move into midfield. Really liked that. Really thought we looked really compact. When we moved forward, there was a lot of fluidity. Arnautovic would suddenly drop back into slightly deeper, and either one of Wilshere or Antonio would suddenly find you'd see them suddenly up front where he was. And I really loved that little interchange. A lot of movement, a lot of fluidity and movement around there. Really lovely to see. I really like the shape we had today, actually.
Finally, in pre-season, I finally got to see Declan Rice in a defensive midfield position, something we've been expecting and waiting on to happen, Mike. What did you make of his performance? He only played 45 minutes, obviously, but...
I actually had him down as one of the outstanding players. I thought he was excellent. I thought he really looked composed. He was really good defensively, but he used the ball really well. He could even drifted past a few players in midfield a few times. His passing was bang on, switching play lovely. I thought he was really good, actually. Really nice.
Gonzo, £40 million. Felipe Anderson made his first start, 45 minutes. Those 2 through balls were the highlights of him, etc. But is he sort of tingling your taste buds for a little bit more?
Well, I've seen him now. I think that's the thing. What I was pleased about in particular, I expect those through balls. I expect him to be able to skip round players. I expect him to have talent. A Brazilian that costs 40-odd million quid, I expect to be decent, an attacking player. But the suggestion is that he was lazy. What I quite liked was him also, we talked about the combination, the partnership of him and Masuaku combining to attack. I thought he actually got back and made a couple of tackles and actually helped Masuaku out defensively as well, which was pleasing to see. Obviously, that's not why we've signed him, but yeah, promising. And I did, particularly the one where Antonio got elbowed. I thought that particularly was a really good through ball. In fact, in the second half, Snodgrass tried a similar ball and he couldn't quite pull up. It takes really good skill to wait a pass and whatnot. But very good, yeah.
The one thing that impressed me tonight, actually, was our goalkeeper's distribution. Mike, Adrian, he was playing with his feet at one point. At one point, he was receiving pass backs from Noble and Zabaleta just outside the 18-yarder, what the top clubs in England have been doing the last couple of seasons. Does it encourage you that Pellegrini's trying to install this? And he also made a couple of top saves, Adrian. One of them was offside, but he saved it. Is he making a real good claim for the number 1 shirt and sort of trying to take advantage of Fabianski having that World Cup period so that he's not quite here yet?
I agree totally. I thought he looked very, very solid tonight, goalkeeper-wise. But again, I noticed that as well. His distribution, he played I think he just played little chips out to the fullback, and they were like the sort of pass that a midfielder would be proud of. You know, they were really lovely little balls out. I didn't think he even put one wide. Do you know what I mean? I thought they all were really good passes. Yeah, I think so. I think Adrian plays better when he's got real competition for his spot. And I think that's why Fabianski's there. Obviously, Fabianski wants to play. He doesn't know they're not mates like him and, what's his name, the Irish guy we had. And it's like he reacts well to competition. And I think that's probably why he's up in his game. But he did look good. He's clearly been working on drills with the defence on how to move that ball quickly out in passing. And again, great stuff. Really pleased with him.
Gonzo, the last player we're going to quickly talk about is our Paraguayan centre-back. He made his first start as well. And fair to say, I thought it was reasonably impressive.
He was. I've got to say, I found it quite difficult because we thank Aston Villa. They did a far better job than West Ham have done providing the stream. But because you've only really got one camera, he was at the furthest point away from that camera because he played the first half. But from what I could pick out, he seemed to read the game very well. Very, very well, which is great. Good distribution as well. I'd want to see more from him. But this is what I really like about our pre-season, actually. Not that we've pulled up any trees. Tonight was a good performance. We've gradually got better. But there is a temptation if you go out and play the frigging San Jose Volcanoes or whatever, play these teams abroad, that you're not going to get a truly competitive match. We've played against English teams. We had the Swiss one, obviously. And what they do is they prepare you far better for a Premier League. So when we do actually get going, we've got Ipswich up next, I believe. When we do eventually get going, we've played against Villa, are a good team. They almost got to the Premier League last season. Grealish is a good player. They've got some good players there. So I thought it was a really good test. And for somebody like Rocky Balboa, as Mike said in the back there, it's a good opportunity. I'd much prefer to see him tested against an English team so as we can find out what he's all about than, as I say, in playing against a couple of, foreign strikers in a foreign league. This is the best way for him to adjust to the tempo of the Premier League. So, yeah, thumbs up from me.
Thumbs up all around everybody about tonight's performance and players. But, Mike, for a little bit of fun, who would you be handing the man of the match award to tonight to?
Oh, tough one. Probably Arnautovic, but I was impressed with the Balbuena and Rice has been particular. I thought Noble had a really good game as well. And Masuaku is a hard one to call, but just for sheer work rate, scoring a great goal, I'll give it to Arnautovic. I thought he was really good. He did some lovely little flicks when he came deep and laid the ball off really well. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Arnie again.
Gonzo?
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. He was involved in everything good that we did. Arnie was involved in. So, yeah, it's a sensational pre-season. But I must just say, I really enjoyed watching Wilshere. He's a class act. Just his give and go, pass and move. I got a hunch he's going to be the best signing of the lot, actually. And he does not give the ball away. The way he moves his body in position to shield the ball. There's a lot to come from him. But, yeah, Arnautovic outstanding today.
I thought Balbuena, or whatever you say his name, I thought he was very, very encouraging. I've never heard of him. Really looked forward to seeing tonight. Really like what I saw. Man of match, Declan Rice. I thought he was absolutely superb in that middle of the pitch. You could not tell which one was 19 years old out of the three of them. If you didn't know, if you saw some of the footage and said to someone, it's a random, if you like, doesn't know West Ham at all, and said, pick out the 19-year-old in that midfield. I don't think they'd be able to pick out. They generally would struggle, I think. And that's the biggest compliment I can possibly give them, I think. So Declan Rice for me. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us on this stream tonight. Make sure you download the One Football app. The link is in the description below. It won't cost you a penny. So give it a try. If you don't like it, delete it. But I guarantee you won't, because it's that bloody good. That's been Mike. That's been Gonzo. This has been the Hammers Chat Forum channel. Subscribe if you're new around here. And me and Gonzo will see you very, very soon on the other channel to do a cup of tea. Catch you in a bit.